We've all seen a hospital bed. It looks pretty simple, right? Just a place for someone to rest. But what if I told you that it's actually an incredibly sophisticated piece of medical tech where every single fold of a sheet is guided by some serious science? Well, today we're going to pull back the covers on the hidden world of the hospital bed. Let's get into it.
I want you to just think about this for a second. In a hospital, a bed isn't just a piece of furniture. It's an active tool for recovery. Seriously, from preventing falls to making it easier to breathe, this simple object is a silent but absolutely crucial partner in the whole healing process. All right, so first things first, making a hospital bed isn't just about tidying up. Not even close. It's a precise medical procedure, and it's all guided by these core principles of safety, not just for the patient, but for the caregiver too. Now, what's so interesting here is how basic these actions seem, but how critical they are. Locking the wheels, that stops the bed from sliding around when someone's trying to get in or out. Raising it up, that saves the nurses or a tech's back from getting strained. And lowering it all the way down when you're done, that is probably one of the most important things you can do to prevent a patient from falling and getting hurt. These are simple actions with a massive, massive impact. Okay, so beyond just physical safety, there is this invisible battle happening in every single hospital room, the fight against infection. And this is where the science of bed making gets really meticulous. Every fold, every tuck, it's a strategic move designed to control the spread of microorganisms. So that brings us to the really strict rules of engagement for handling hospital linens. And this isn't just about things looking clean, it's about breaking the chain of infection. We're talking about an unseen war against all sorts of bacteria and viruses. This might seem kind of obvious, but the science behind it is so important. Your uniform can carry germs, and so can the linen. Holding them apart prevents this two-way street of contamination. You avoid getting germs on your uniform that you could carry to the next patient, and you stop anything on you from getting onto those fresh, clean sheets. Oh, this one is fascinating. You might think shaking a sheet helps straighten it out, right? But in a hospital, that is a huge no-no. Shaking it actually aerosolizes microorganisms. It basically throws them into the air where they can be breathed in or land on every other surface in the room. So an innocent little shake could literally spread contamination everywhere. And yet, the meticulousness just keeps going. Each one of these rules has a crystal clear purpose. Soiled linen gets rolled inward to trap all the contaminants inside. It never, ever touches the floor. And that last point, that one's key. Once a piece of linen enters a patient's room, it's considered committed. Even if you don't use it, you can't just take it to another patient's room. It's all part of this super rigorous system to stop germs dead in their tracks. Okay, so we've covered safety, and we've covered cleanliness. Now let's talk about the bed as an actual dynamic medical device, because its ability to change position isn't just for comfort, it is a critical part of a patient's treatment. This just shows you how versatile the bed truly is. The Fowler's position isn't just for watching TV. Raising the head of the bed like that actually makes it easier for someone with respiratory problems to breathe. Semi-Fowlers, that's perfect for preventing reflux if a patient is getting tube-fed. And then you've got the really extreme ones, like Trendelenburg's, head down, feet up, which you need a doctor's order for and is used to treat shock. Every single position is like a specific prescription for a specific medical condition. Now, beyond all the technical functions, there's a real art to making a bed that actually communicates care. The way a bed is prepared sends a message to the patient before a single word is even spoken. This brings us to the difference between an open bed and a closed bed. A closed bed, with all the covers pulled up nice and neat, signals that the room is sterile and ready for a brand new patient. But an open bed, with the top sheets fan-folded down so nicely, that's a welcome sign. It says we're expecting you, and it makes it super easy for a patient who can walk to just slip right back into bed without a struggle. The process for making an empty bed is just a masterclass in efficiency. You gather your supplies, you adjust the bed for safety, you apply the linens, and hey, notice step 4, the mitered corner. That crisp diagonal fold isn't just to look pretty. It actually secures the covers really firmly so they don't get all tangled up in a patient's feet. It's the hallmark of a properly made hospital bed. And this is where the skill, the empathy, and the trust all have to come together. Because making an occupied bed is one of the most fundamental and honestly intimate acts of nursing care. It means changing every single sheet while the patient is still in the bed. This whole procedure is like a delicate dance. It always starts with communication, explaining what you're doing and making sure there's privacy. Then, with a bed rail up for safety, you gently roll the patient to one side. You roll the dirty sheets up and tuck them right under the patient, and then place the clean sheets right beside them. Then the patient rolls back over this little hump of linens onto the fresh, clean side. After that, you just walk to the other side, pull out all the old sheets, and pull the new ones through. It is an incredible feat of coordination and communication, all done to give someone the dignity and comfort of a clean bed without them ever having to get out of it.
So, as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear that making a hospital bed is so much more than just a chore. It's a procedure where the science of infection control and safety truly meets the art of compassionate patient care. So why all the fuss about smooth, wrinkle-free sheets? Well, it's got nothing to do with making things look neat. A single wrinkle, if it's bunched up under a patient, creates a pressure point. And over time, that tiny bit of pressure can actually break down the skin, leading to some really painful and dangerous injuries. So smoothing out that sheet is literally an act of preventative medicine.
And this is really what it all comes down to, right? The technical skill of that perfect mitered corner, the science that tells us why a sheet must be smooth, and the compassion it takes to gently move a person, they all combine in this one simple act. It's just a perfect blend of science and art.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. We've uncovered the hidden science of the hospital bed, but it really makes you wonder, what other seemingly mundane tasks are actually these complex, invisible acts of care, quietly shaping a patient's journey back to health? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.